Okay, lady and gentlemen, welcome. This is our Finance and Administration Committee meeting of Tuesday, April 11th. Madam Clerk, can we do a roll call, please? Just so people know, Mayor Schumer, because of the holiday Monday, has municipal business council. Their council's committees are today, so he's away on the municipal business. Any declarations of interest? Adoption of the minutes. Moved by Leahy, second by McDougall. Questions, comments, or corrections? Being none, I'm going to call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? That item is carried. There's no statutory meetings. Presentation, no presentations, no delegations. First item is correspondence from the town of Ajax in regards to support for Bill 5. Put the request button in. Councillor Lee, there you go. Do it again. Thanks.
Chair, I'd like to move to endorse the correspondence from the town of Ajax.
Seconder, Councillor Wu. Debate? Being none. Councillor Leahy.
Yeah, just a quick question. So is this legislation already to be adopted, or they're pushing for this legislation to adjust?
It's a private member's bill by a Liberal member.
Got it.
I talked to the gentleman, I think, last week, and he had about 20 endorsements at the time from various municipalities, but I'm not sure how the government will deal with the private members bill.
And I guess my only follow-up is that, like, how are they going to decide when it's egregious enough that a seat gets vacated? Like, I guess that was the curious part for me, because that's the whole point of saying it's so hard to get rid of somebody. But then how are they going to decide that? And it didn't seem kind of clear in the
I think the intent of the bill is to allow higher level sanctions, and it comes from the incidents in Ottawa where one of the councillors had a pattern of harassment that what couldn't be dealt with except for in a suspension. So that's the genesis of it. So I'm not quite sure where it might go in the legislation.
So we don't know. We're just saying we're in favor of something.
Right, and I know the town of Ajax has endorsed it, and the city of Pickering has endorsed it as well.
Okay. No, I'm curious. Okay, thank you.
Chair, Councillor Crawford. Yep, go ahead, Marilyn.
I don't know. My mic just came on. I don't know. So the thing, I think, the most important thing about this bill is that in any other organization, in anything outside of municipality, if there's harassment charges, there's an avenue in which the person who's being harassed can take through, the bill escapes me, but there's a harassment bill out there. And there are very strict consequences to that action in any other job other than municipality, where here there doesn't seem to be that same avenue for a councillor. So I think that's really what they want to draw the attention to, is that in municipal government, there's no avenue for somebody who might be being harassed to take. And so they need to look at that, or else at least include it in the other bills.
Thank you. Councillor McDougall, you have a question?
I do. Thank you for bringing this forward, Ms. Crawford. Would this put us in line with what policies would be in place for MPs and MPPs? Through you, Mr. Chair, if anyone knows.
I don't think MPs can be removed by anybody but a judge.
So no.
Okay. I think that's the answer, but I don't know as a matter of fact. Maybe our chief legal beagles here, Mr. Hunt.
You're correct.
What? That you're the chief legal beagle? No, it's
And
just
you
a
are
judge.
also correct, but no. Other than the electorate elects MPs, members of provincial parliament, and municipal councillors, and either through a court application, typically related to the election itself. Although the court has inherent jurisdiction to make almost any order, that really would be the only way to remove a sitting elected member, whether it's a councillor or a member of parliament, currently.
So for clarity, the question by Councillor McDougall was, this bill would enable an integrity commission to have a finding that would then have to go to a judge. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, we don't know all of the mechanisms in the bill, but I would be very surprised if the integrity commissioner was empowered to remove a councillor. It wouldn't be in keeping with any of the other powers that an integrity commissioner currently has. Because certainly they do investigate and make recommendations, and that's sort of the limits of their powers.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I was just seeking clarification to see if that would put all of the elected officials in line in terms of the policies of abuse. That's all.
Councillor Crawford?
Thank you.
Yeah, what's interesting is this came up at AMO, and AMO typically doesn't support private member bills, but we did have a really good discussion around the inconsistency of the integrity commissioners, and that are they all trained the same? And some of them are harsher than others, and so there was quite a heated discussion around just the level of training and consistency throughout the integrity commissioners themselves.
Thank you. We do have a motion to endorse, moved by Councillor Lee and second by Councillor Wu. If there's no further debate, I'm going to call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? That item is carried. We have 3 reports from in front of us today, just as a matter of interest. If there's questions in regards to the succession management update, we will go into closed session. So, first one is an update to the community flag policy. Mover? I actually have a mover for item 3, so I'll have Chair Henry moves reports A and B, seconded by Councillor Lee. Any polls? You want to pull which one? You want to pull them all? Okay, let's go this way then. So we'll move from community flag. It's moved by Henry and seconded by Councillor Lee. Councillor Leahy?
No, thank you. So I appreciate the spirit and understanding of this particular approach. Understanding, doing a little bit of research, some municipalities have gone the route of no flags, so that they're not having to actually prioritize different groups or other different requests and be able to prioritize Group A over Group B. And, I think even the town we had, there was a flag for Happy Smile Day. Like they're really pushing the limits. Cookies, smiles, trees, drills, soils. Like have we explored the option of just not endorsing any of these things? Is it getting to the point where we're doing too much and it's losing its meaning?
Who wants that one?
So if I may, and I'm not sure if Elaine's on the line, so if we can, I think she'd like to speak.
Oh, I can't hear you.
Elaine, you're on mute. You have to press I forget what you have to press online.
Middle button. There's like a talk button.
Talk button.
No.
Yeah, talking head. Press the talking head.
It turns red.
You got the expertise, right?
I've been there. A few times.
You're home a lot.
We're having some technical, so Commissioner Taylor, can you speak to it, please?
So I think if I may, perhaps on Elaine's behalf, I would suggest that at this point, we do have a habit of recognizing, and the region of Durham has done that for a very long time
Mhm.
with the flags. I think they still do serve a purpose and have a meaning to people. So my recommendation would be that we continue with this policy, and perhaps the next time it gets looked at, I do think there are some rules here that under the community flag raising that does provide some envelope there, because we don't have a lot. Certainly the ones I've observed seem to have meaning to the community. So
Mhm.
I would suggest that we'd still proceed at this point, but we could certainly keep an eye on the kinds of requests we're getting, and I know those are filtered through both the CAO's office as well as the chairman's office. So.
Hi,
Yeah.
it's Elaine. I
Oh,
resolved my
there we go.
technical issues. Sorry about that. And I totally concur with what Nancy just said. And we also do run the initiatives by our diversity, equity, and inclusion unit. So we are very careful to make sure we are being purposeful in terms of what flags we do post at regional headquarters.
Yeah. No, and I appreciate that. I'm just trying to think of what the thought is, because if there are, with the need for even more flags to put up even more things for more days and more events, like, maybe we're getting past the point of where it's useful. And I've seen some other municipalities just banned all flags other than the town flag and the municipal flag and the provincial and the federal flag. So I'm just curious where that perception was, because that's the road some other municipalities have gone down. And I've seen a lot of requests, sometimes you're endorsing 10 or 20 things a month. So if you're endorsing 120 to 250 things a year, it becomes less meaningful to me. And I was just curious with that. Thank you.
I can say we have nowhere near that volume.
Allison, did you have a comment for us?
Yeah, I just wanted to add to it that in terms of the considerations, we look at it from more community engagement, community involvement, community visibility. And so it really supports our diversity, equity, and inclusion principles around inclusion and being seen and feeling validated. So there are some considerations that we do look at in terms of which flags get raised, right? So it's not the smile ones, but it's really the focus on that community recognition and celebration piece. I just wanted to share that piece. Yep.
Chair Henry?
Thank you, Chair. And we do screen them as they do come in, but as our community becomes more diverse, we're celebrating more and more events. We also have some really great causes within the region. The last flag raising was, I believe, for Durham Hospice. We recognize the events, both provincially and federally, as they're being, and how the flags fly on their facilities as well. So there is a lot of thought that goes into this. It's just that we are becoming a larger region, and there are a lot more great things to celebrate in Durham region. So. But we do put a lot of effort into screening, so we don't have what you mentioned earlier. And we do funnel everything between the CAO, the office of the chair, and through our diversity team. So I think we're doing a great job, and it brings people to regional headquarters.
Thank you. There's a motion duly moved and seconded. First, moved by Chair Henry, seconded by Councillor Lee. If no further debate, I'm going to call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? That item was carried. The next item is moved by Chair Henry, seconded by Councillor Lee. It's the succession management. If there's questions, we have to go in closed session. Depends on the question. Request, and you want to go in closed session?
Well, I'd like to ask a question. I'm not going to ask any questions.
Well, okay, what we'll do is finish our agenda and then go in closed session at the end. So we'll stand down the succession management, and then I need that wording. Next item is moved by Councillor McDougall. It's the 2021 accessibility report, moved by Councillor McDougall, seconded by Chair Henry. Councillor McDougall, you want to speak to it?
Yes, thank you. Just being on the accessibility committee as a representative from finance administration, it's extremely important. Accessibility, having seen the pandemic and seeing the online world now, accessibility has changed. We all focused on it before in terms of just the physical world, but now it's a digital world as well. For sure, there's a lot of progress we've made in terms of accessibility. Even in terms of my own practice, I've done work where people have decided to put in washrooms that are in heritage buildings that are accessible, even though they're not required to do so because there's a step at the front door in a heritage building. But they've recognized that the opportunity for their clients who come into their businesses, they need those facilities. So, and for sure, now that we're online, I never really took into the full consideration and accessibility in terms of our documents and being able to do things, especially now that people are working so much from home and you can do so much more from home. So thank you for bringing this forward. So thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Councillor Wu? You have to press the button, Willie.
I thought you were going to do that for me.
Sorry, Willie. I hit Councillor McDougall's and hit you at the same time. Another request, please.
More a comment on the report in the 2021 accessibility report, and it speaks about, and we'll have a discussion about that tomorrow at the committee of the whole, but My Durham 211, and I don't know if somebody could comment that the region is the first regional municipality in Canada to bring regional services to smart home devices. And at home, we both have Amazon Alexa, so we both have Google Home, but I haven't gone on there to find out about myself.
Commissioner?
That's correct. We're the first in Canada to offer that service to our residents.
So I guess I could comment that Durham Region is leading the way.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Councillor Leahy?
Thank you. So, I appreciate that. So, a lot of great achievements. It's great. We're really on track. I guess are there any risks of not being fully AODA compliant in the next couple of years that's required by the legislation? Because I didn't see any of that in the presentation. It was all the accomplishments, how we're doing really great, all the different pieces. Are there any risks of not being AODA compliant in the next few years with our current plans?
Go ahead, Allison.
Thank you. I can speak to that. There are always risks in the sense of community members not having full access, whether it be to our spaces or documents or processes. But we continue to work very closely to ensure we just completed an audit. And so we're working towards the recommendations that were presented to us to ensure that we be as accessible as possible. So the goal is always working towards being fully accessible. But we know that just given our build, things that were built, many years ago, that there's work that we need to do to ensure that can happen. But yeah, so there are risks in the sense that we can be responsive, but ideally we do want to be as inclusive as possible so folks don't necessarily have to ask us for these accommodations. And that is the risk that we look at.
No, and I appreciate that, but isn't there a deadline in the legislation that we have to meet, if memory serves?
Yes, there's a deadline, and they're working with municipalities and organizations as well to be as flexible as possible, given what resources we do have available and the work that we're looking towards that accessibility space.
Yeah. Okay. No.
Yes.
And is there enough capital allocated towards that goal? Like, I guess that's my next question. I sat on accessibility for 4 years, so I know I understand a lot of the challenges. So that's why I always ask when I see this stuff coming forward.
Yes, and I don't want to say that they're insufficient because there's always resources that can be applied to it. We have the Durham Build design document as well, that a ton of work has been put into that and resources. So there's always, I think, opportunities to look at how we can do accessibility better. So I'll say, there's always room to apply resources to look at how we do that. Yep.
Okay.
Commissioner?
I was just going to say as well on tomorrow's committee of the whole agenda is the our own Durham Building Standard,
Yes.
and it includes a number of features there as well. So hopefully you will see some things that you like in that report as well
Yeah.
for tomorrow.
Yeah, no. I have some questions on that, but it's actually, that there's quite comprehensive when I was reading that on the weekend. Okay, no, that's all. I'm just curious just where we're at and where the risks are, and as long as we're on track as best as we can for a full AODA compliance. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other debate? Being none, I'm going to call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? That item's carried. Moving on to correspondence under finance. There's a request or a correspondence from the City of Pickering in regards to financial contribution to earthquake victims of Turkey and Syria. Motion to endorse or to receive for information will be in order. Councillor Grodd? Moved by Councillor Grodd, second by Councillor Leahy to receive for information. Debate? Being none, all those in favor? Opposed? That item's carried. There's no reports, no advisory committees, no confidential. Well, there is a confidential matter, so we're going to go into closed session. Please be advised that committee will now meet in closed session in accordance with subsection 239, subsection 2 of the Municipal Act to consider a matter related to personal matters of an identified individual or labor relations or employee negotiations. And be advised that I will verbally report in a general sense all items considered in the closed session once we rise from the closed session and move back into open session. Motion to move into closed session, moved by Councillor Leahy, second by Councillor McDougall. All those in favor? Opposed? Thank you. We'll just take a short break as we sever the communications. I'm going to call the meeting back to order. We're in open session in the continuing interest of transparency and open government reporting in public session. Any outcomes from today's closed session? I wish to report there was no resolutions made or directions given during the closed session. There was discussions of a confidential nature in regards to the succession plan. There's a report before us moved by Councillor Lee. Moved by Chair Henry and second by Councillor Lee. I'm going to call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? That item is carried. Any other new business? Being none, a motion to adjourn would be in order. Moved by Councillor Leahy, second by Councillor Wu. All those in favor? Opposed? We're carried. Thank you, folks.